So he's uh, going to be a biased cop. That's not.
Did
Um,
he know you were that you were?
He
yeah,
knew who we were. Yeah, he
yeah.
recognized me from
But
Pomoluda.
I mean, did he know you were um, taking taping him or videotaping
Yeah,
him?
he
Oh yeah,
did.
yeah, for
He
sure.
knew.
Yeah, he
And that's
knew.
why he said it was because we were videotaping him, and that's retaliation against us against
Well, you're not supposed to videotape people
in
without their
public. Yes, you
permission.
can.
What?
In public, you can record anywhere.
Do you have case law that says you can?
Yeah, it's called the First Amendment.
That's the First Amendment does not say you can videotape people without their permission.
In public, it does. There's case law. There's lots of case law like Mims versus Mims. Mims. Just look up Mims and you'll find it. Or Gray versus Florida. Like there's so much case law on that. Like it's ridiculous because it's part of the First Amendment. Anywhere in public, you don't have the right to privacy in public.
You have some rights to privacy.
Well, no, it's the public officials have to create privacy. Like HIPAA laws, they only abide to public officials, not to a private citizen. Or, I mean, I know my rights really well. I'm actually kind of an activist, I guess you'd say. I hate saying that word
Well,
because it's not.
They generally they call them constitutionalists in the legal field. Constitutionalists.
Yeah.
They say that in a negative way. They don't say it in a positive way. The
That's
legal
fine. I mean,
community.
I think it's un-American to say that in a negative way because that's what protects us as private citizens.
Well, but most of the time, the constitutionalists pick out certain things, but
Well,
not the whole thing, and they're usually
yeah,
pretty wrong.
but I'm not.
Um,
It got me out of. It got my case dismissed yesterday. So I mean,
what case did you have?
there was just traffic, but it was from the same cops.
What cop?
Uh, UPD.
Which one?
Well, let's see. Before he got arrested, I got pulled over 4 times in 5 days. The
By
fourth
who?
time, Cohen, Ingle, Kenny.
Oh, Kenny.
Well, Kenny's the one that arrested him, and Thong is the one
She
pulled
doesn't
up.
have Kenny. He doesn't have Kenny on this.
Exactly.
Kenny arrested me for the warrant.
Yeah,
for the warrant.
the legal warrant that was issued without notice. And I'm going with law there. That's welfare institutions that you guys are using against my kid. 294 section F2 states that you have to send it certified mail and has to be signed and brought back with a parent's signature for them to actually um, make it legal in court. And that didn't happen with our case. So
For them to put out the pickup order?
Yep. For them to even like make that court day liable or
They
like we
called
were
it a bench warrant.
yeah
Well,
they
it's
issued
not
a
a
warrant
bench
because he
warrant.
didn't show up to court when we had absolutely no notice of it. So that's totally
Why
I
did they
guess
say you had notice?
because they consider just mailing it regular mail, which is not not lawful at all and against every procedure there could possibly be because there's no proof of notice. There's no proof of service at all. Like this case is there's so much wrong with it. It's just ridiculous. So like there's I don't even know what to say because I mean there's
Yeah,
no
here's
like,
what. Oh, that's why they did it.
which isn't lawful.
Court notes. What was Judge Mormon too? Court notes. The minor
We got a citation without a date on it. That's it.
is not present today, and the court did not receive any return mail.
That even
They
that
send it to the right address.
we get stolen mail.
Yeah.
That's a really common thing these days. I've had my mail stolen multiple times this year. I mean, like
Had they sent it before? Did you have other notice before that one?
I mean, I've had my comp even say, "Oh, we sent you this letter," and I'm like, "I don't know, I never got that one." Like, and they sent a lot of letters, but I mean, there's been a couple important ones that I didn't get that I'm, you know, not too happy about. But the mail situation is, there's a reason that there's a rule in law under welfare institutions is the proper way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the charges aren't even applicable with the knife that they used as evidence that they
Well.
illegally retained.
Yeah, you know, it would be better if you had this trial in front of Judge Mormon than in front of Judge Tobin, because Judge Mormon is way better on the law than Judge Mormon.
Well, I'm just going to appeal it if it doesn't go our way.
Well, you can appeal it, but appeals don't work really well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that.
The preponderance of the evidence and then the law. And
They say, well, if the judge found the evidence to be sufficient.
But she's not an elected judge. She's appointed.
Who?
Judge Mormon.
She's elected.
Really?
I went out and
Oh, well.
went out with her and.
Normally, juvenile judges are appointed by an elected judge.
In this county, they aren't. In this county, they rotate.
Oh.
Any of the judges on the bench could be a juvenile court judge. They just rotate. She's been
So the county
a criminal
is different than the
judge. She's
state?
been a civil judge. She's an elected judge. She has to run every so many years. I forget.
Most judges only run once, and it's a lifetime term.
Most judges what?
It's a lifetime term until they retire.
Not
A superior judge.
Not superior court judges are not lifetime. See, you don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Not that. Not superior court judges. Not county court judges. They have to run every so many years.
Oh. How many
She's already
years?
been, I don't know how many. 4, 6. I don't know.
Is that only if they get challenged? Because, I mean,
Do they what?
is that only if they get challenged by another person or something? Or?
They have to run, even if they don't have somebody opposing them. They still have to run. They're just run unchallenged. Every single one of them had to be elected.
Dang. Well, the government site must be wrong then.
Well, look it up and show me where you read that superior court judges have to be. No, who runs? Even the Court of Appeal judges are on the ballot. You just confirmed. The only ones that are for life are the Superior Court judges. I mean, the Supreme Court judges. Yeah, I went out and campaigned with her. She used to be an attorney here for a long time.
When did you campaign with her?
When?
Yeah.
When she first ran. It was a long time ago.
Okay, maybe it's appellate or 12 years, superior 6. But is that one if they're challenged, or how does that work? What if there's nobody challenging them?
They just don't run, and they have to, get so many more than half the votes or whatever.
Okay, maybe I supreme and superior, but where's
All the judges. Judge Sinead Dowell, she was county council for a while, and then she ran. Judge Keith Boulder.
Yeah, I
was
voted
now
for
in
him.
criminal court. He ran, and he used to be actually he was in this office. I wasn't. I was private counsel for 27 years. He was a public defender, and then he was a DA.
So,
And then he ran.
on California Court rules.gov, it's says that juvenile judges are appointed.
Well, she's not.
Yeah, that's what it says on the site,
Let
though.
me see. God, that's tiny. Oh, the presiding judge of the Superior Court should assign judges to the juvenile court to serve for a minimum of 3 years. Oh, the presiding judge of the Superior Court. They look at all the judges here, and then they appoint the judge.
Oh, so like their manager, basically.
It's just one of the judges here. So the presiding judge, whoever is the presiding judge, and they vote. All the judges that are on the bench right now, they vote to be who's going to be the presiding judge, and then that judge appoints of the judges here who's going to be on the juvenile.
Oh, okay, so they're appointed, but they're elected first.
But they're already elected.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
the ones
That's
that are
what it doesn't
already
really say there. But,
She's just appointed by the other judges that are already sitting because she wanted to do it. It's really not like a big deal.
yeah.
Some of the judges don't, like Judge Nadell does not want to be a juvenile court judge, so she never would. She does civil law. So. But right now, Judge Dolan is sitting there because Judge Mormon's on vacation. She's in Europe.
So she postponed his case for a cop to be on vacation.
No, she did. The judge didn't postpone.
No, I'm talking about before this one. Mormon last court date postponed it.
Because of the
cop. Yeah. So now it's going to a different judge, which doesn't have the same knowledge as the other judge. You're not going to be there, so
She used to be a public defender. Judge Dolan was.
but not on this case. This case
Not
in
on
general.
this case,
I mean,
but she was a public defender for a long time in this office, so she did everything just like me.
wait, it's a female judge tomorrow, so it's
Judge Dolan, yeah, Judge
Okay.
Carly Dolan.
okay. So it's a 3 judges. That's the 3rd judge now that we'll be dealing with on this whole thing because we
Were you
dealt
with Judge Pekin before?
Yeah.
the day that you missed the first
The
time.
day that
Judge
she
Pekin
missed.
was there?
So that's where I'm like, you know, we get
Judges are always all over the place.
yeah.
For everybody, even if you're
But-
one of my clients here.
Yeah.
My 3-strike client there.
Are your clients all over the place with you though, or is that like just
Mr. Steele there is charged with a homicide. Mostly that's what I do, and juvenile. I don't do anything else because I've been doing this a long time. So I got the juvenile calendar so that I can do the juveniles, and then I have time to do my 3-strike and or homicide cases. That's what I do.
Okay. That's kind of a big leap there from juvenile to
Because
I
I've been
mean-
doing this a long time,
yeah.
35 years. It's not a big leap. I've done everything.
No, I mean for the clients though, like
Juvenile's
divorce.
not petty.
Yeah, but
Some
this
kids
crime
could get
is
in a lot
pretty
of trouble
petty.
for juvenile. And it's not petty, and I do the same for
I mean,
everybody. I love
originally-
doing my juvenile.
Like my kid's the victim originally, and he got charged with a crime. So I mean, and you guys
And
don't see it that way,
That's not petty, is it? It's not petty to him.
but well, no, it's not petty that he's being charged with a crime, but the what he actually did is petty compared to the crime.
But that doesn't mean anything. I'm gonna do everything the same for whoever my clients are.
Okay.
But anyway, we have to talk about what we're gonna do. I wanna let Chandra, the deputy DA, know, and let Mr. Aaron know what you guys wanna do with your case while I'm out.
Well,
Do you wanna go forward with it, or do you want
we,
to
well,
put it over?
we want it dismissed initially. I mean, we want to file a dismissal, which hasn't happened yet. I mean, you can't really get it dismissed unless you file a dismissal.
You can get it dismissed if you win a trial.
Well, yeah, but you can get it dismissed if you file a dismissal and they decide that it's
I have
okay
no reason, I have nothing to file a dismissal on.
on
The teacher
the
getting me to literally
the
write
principal
a confession.
coercing with the cop too.
Well, what you do on that is you file and I haven't done that, or I can make an oral motion to keep the confession out based on a
But
Miranda.
it would also be the knife came with that confession. It was all the same incident. That knife was not on school grounds at all, and he got told that to bring it back onto school grounds. So they told him to bring a knife on school grounds after the fact. That's kind of
Well, the kid,
They sent me home and then brought me back.
right, but the kid,
the knife got sent home too.
yeah, but that doesn't matter. The kid saw the knife.
Yeah,
The victim, the alleged
The
victim, saw the
victim.
knife.
that he was the bully that went into the bathroom.
Well, that's what we have to prove.
which would be pretty easy. I mean,
Okay, so we say it, but it has to have a trial. I can't just make a statement saying the kid was the bully. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why there's a trial.
or
We can't just state it. I can't. I wasn't there.
yeah,
We have to bring witnesses who state he was.
all right.
It's all adversarial, and everybody has to state their claim. And
That's
that's why you
already-
have the judge
yeah.
that listens to everybody, and then she makes her decision. Okay, so when they want to put in his little statement, then I object. I say, no, that can't come in. It was coerced.
Yeah.
And this is a child, and
So then there'd be
they
no evidence at all in
and
this
then we
thing
have.
besides the.
But I have to do it, or the attorney who is
Okay.
going to represent him has to do it, and he's not prepared because he doesn't really know everything that's on. That's why I think that we shouldn't do it tomorrow, or you guys shouldn't do it tomorrow, because I need to be there to do it.
Yeah, but all in all, if we show up tomorrow and the cop doesn't show up, they'll drop it. Is the one.
Well, they're not prepared to do it, but the cop's going to be there. Trust me, or she would have already called me and said he's not there, and can I get a continuance? Well, she already knows I'm not going to be there, so.
But
Even if the cop doesn't show up, they can still probably make their case.
they can't.
Why?
They have no witnesses at that point. They got a kid.
Yeah.
That's incompetent of telling what he ate 3 hours later. like.
That he what? Oh,
What-
about
what he
whether
ate
he had
within 3
orange or a
hours.
kiwi.
Yeah, I mean that's
That
kind
was
of a
3
big-
hours. Now it's
But
over
he
7
could
months
explain
ago.
6 seconds really well. I mean,
Well, I could say, didn't you say orange or kiwi? And he'll go, yeah, I didn't really remember, but now I remember it was an orange. Then the judge has to decide. The judge hears kids testify
so he
all the
didn't
time.
know 3 hours before that, but he knows like over 6 months down the road. That don't make sense.
Well, it's up to the judge to decide that.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
not a big deal, really, believe it or not.
Yeah, but it's got to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt in court.
Right.
Which I mean,
Whether
there's-
he had a knife and whether he threatened him with it. Not whether the kid was eating an orange
whether
or
he had a
kiwi.
weapon though. If you that knife is not a weapon, it's never made to be a weapon. It's made to be a tool.
It doesn't matter. A
Can we-
screwdriver can be a weapon.
Can we see the felony that they're trying to charge me with? Like, can you
Like-
Google it?
Oh, the actually how it's written in legislation.
Yeah.
How it's written in legislation totally cancels that out as being a weapon.
On or about December 9th, State of California, the crime of weapons on school grounds in violation of 626.10A1. A felony was committed in that Cameron Alexander Massey did unlawfully bring and possess a weapon, to wit, a folding knife.
What was the number of the law again?
Penal Code 626.10A1.
626.10A1. It says folding knife.
Just hold on.
Did bring a folding knife with a blade approximately 3 inches long, as listed in this subsection, upon the grounds of and within a public and private school, providing instruction in kindergarten and grades 1 to 12.
So it's possesses any dirk, dagger, ice pick, knife having a blade longer than 2.5 inches long, folding knife with a blade that locks into place. There's that locks into place is a big deal. That makes
Does it say or does it say and?
It says comma. It splits it.
Let me get it up here.
So when they put dirk, dagger, ice pick, or knife, having the knife has to be a fixed blade. It also it defines that down here, or it has to lock into place, because if it does not, then it folds. It can't be a weapon because it was never made to be a weapon.
It doesn't matter.
It's made to be a tool, though.
Well,
It doesn't matter.
it does if you go look up the weapon definition in Black's Law
Do
Dictionary.
you understand that a screwdriver can be a weapon?
Yeah, so can a pen. But so if he was holding a pen, he'd get charged.
If he was holding it in a manner that suggested he was going
But
to
see, that's the thing. If you read the police report, he wasn't holding it in any kind of manner that he suggested that he was going to use it. the kid didn't feel threatened. There was no there's
You don't have to threaten it and
to brandish.
well,
And
that's what the judge has to decide when he hears the person
Yeah.
testify.
but
You
that's
see what I'm saying? It's not us. We don't get to
I know.
decide.
I was just saying why we're not willing to plea out or anything
Well, we
because
don't have to. Have I asked you to plead out?
last
No.
time you offered something and
Well,
you
I have to tell you when they offer something. I have to tell you what the offer is.
you made a
That's my
statement
duty.
of that basically said that we should have took it.
I said we can, and I think it's a good offer, but we don't have to, and I'm not making you.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to tell you that I think that it's a bad offer.
I think it is.
I know how the courts act, and I know what they think. 6 weeks on campus by suspended student punishment.
It's
I
not a
just know
prohibited.
that you can say all this stuff, but that doesn't mean that it's
Yeah, but
not
if
word,
you
because you say stuff.
it's what it says in legislation that defines weapons on school grounds and prohibited weapons. It's not on the list of prohibited when it's an unlocking. I get what you're saying. The court's kind of corrupt, but it doesn't follow the law how it quite should. But I mean, I've seen it firsthand. But
Possession of weapons in public school. Let's see, I'm just gonna get it on the big, okay, possession. Any person, except a duly appointed police officer, which we aren't, we don't have to worry about that. Hate all this baloney here. What, so many sub,
A1.
A1, oh, you know it, you've read it over and over, huh? A1, it is A1. Okay, any person except a duly appointed peace officer is defined in chapter 4.5 of Title 3, blah, 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 blah. Okay, who brings or possesses any dirk, dagger, ice pick, knife having a blade longer than 2.5 inches, comma, folding knife with a blade that locks into place, a razor with an unguarded blade, a taser or stun gun, as defined in blah, 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 any instrument that expels a metallic projectile. So number one of the things that any person cannot have a knife having a blade longer than 2.5 inches. Your knife had a blade longer than 2.5 inches.
But then
that's one of the things you can't have.
But then hold on. Under no prohibited weapon. Under that, it's it has examples of where is it? To be a where did I just see that? Damn it, hold on.
You just can't have a knife.
Well, it has to be stabbing of it. Something about stabbing. I'm trying to find it. Hold on just a sec.
In this case that I'm reading, it's in Ray T period B.
It has to be ready used as a stabbing weapon, and that's not. You can't use that as a stabbing weapon.
This kid had a multi-tool on him. He fell asleep in class. They woke him up. They asked if he had anything on him. He had some cigarettes and he had what's called a multi-tool. And when you opened it up, there was a little knife in there.
Did it lock though? Because a lot of those multi-tool knives do lock into place. I have a bunch of them.
Yeah, when you pulled it out, it locked.
That's the key thing there is because it's not stab ready if it doesn't lock because it'll cut your fingers off. It was never made to be a weapon. It was always made to be a tool. That type of knife, for a reason.
It's like made to like wood carve and cut your
Qualified as a
apples.
folding knife.
That locked, qualified. So the word qualified means that it locked.
But it was a tool.
But at the same time, if it locks into place, it cancels the whole folding part out.
That knife that you guys had is not a tool. It's a knife.
Well, it's a tool, but
It's a knife.
it's not a weapon though. It's never made to be a weapon.
Neither was the multi-tool, not made to be a...
But it has a locking blade still, which also is in the legislation. Like it's how it's written in legislation. It cancels out this type of knife.
So you're saying that one doesn't lock into place?
Not at all.
Is it because it's broken?
No, it's because it was never made to be a weapon. It's
never
a
locked
tool.
into place.
It's
not
that's
made
how
to
they
lock
make
into
those.
Well, how are you going to use it then if it doesn't lock into place?
Not to stab somebody. It's
But
to,
it doesn't lock if you pull it out.
could
it
wood
won't
carve.
stay out.
It'll stay out, but it doesn't lock.
What do you mean it doesn't lock?
Like
It
if you went like
folds.
this,
If
it would
you're
fold
trying
right
to do
back up.
something, It folds.
Well, if you're-
Unless you're pushing against right here,
You have to.
and like
There's only one way you can
shaving
use
something,
it.
like maybe wood carving, because that's what I use that knife for.
There's only one way you can use it, and if you use it like a locking blade, it would literally hurt you.
Fold?
It'll fold and cut your fingers.
Even the second blade on it?
Yeah, they're both non-locking.
The statute does not say it has to lock, though.
Yes, it does. It specifically says that.
No.
It says it has to be a locking blade.
A locking
No, there's a comma, and then it says with a lock, and then it says with a
Folding knife
The other
with a
one
locking
doesn't
blade.
say- no, it does not say that.
I'm
You
reading
have to
it.
Look at it. There's a
I'm
comma.
looking at it right now. The comma is folding knife with a locking blade. There's a comma before and after. So that puts it in.
That's what you're not reading. Let me read it again. It says,
And I mean, that's going to get thrown out for evidence anyways under the fact that it wasn't retained the right way.
dirk or dagger, ice pick or knife, having a fixed blade longer than 2.5 inches.
Fixed blade. That means
Fixed blade.
it locks or it's stationary.
I don't remember how to look up things on the courts portal. I need to see why he got a warrant, so I can write this down.
Can you print that for me? his room.
Yeah. Let me see if it's printing. The printer's in the library.
Alright. That's where we went last time, right? The library?
Yeah, they're using it for a large meeting. That's why we aren't in there.
Oh, nice.
It's cooler in there too, but they have a bunch of people in there.
I think she just read the part that we're trying to get across. Here, get quiet. That was pretty.
She was thinking,
Like, oh.
like, how do. And then she was looking for something that would trump whatever she read.
She's not on our side, dude.
I know. Literally, she's talking about literally public defenders turning into judges.
Yeah, that's how bad the system is. That's why I'm. Don't worry, I sent the letter of cease and desist to the DA too. So, I mean, so if they want to keep pursuing it, then we have a foot into a lawsuit backing it. Because then I'm going to file a lawsuit, like, after tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Okay. What's that with annotations? It's just got case law annotations to it as well.
Oh, cool. I figured you'd have more information than I could find here.
So, you can look at all of that if you want, but what we have to decide is if I should call, the DA and tell her that we're gonna put it off until I come back.
How long would that
Which would
be?
be
I
a
mean,
good cause. Or do you want to just go forward tomorrow without us looking at all this stuff? Because I wouldn't mind,
I mean,
I haven't even looked at the knife.
yeah, I mean, I know for a fact when I've seen
But
it.
I'd like to look at it so I can argue it competently.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to say this whole time is that knife is literally like, it's excluded, like, from the legislated law.
Well, if I can go and look at it and say, yeah, look at this, it's not fixed plate, it won't stay, you know? And tell her, she doesn't like to do this shit if she doesn't have to either, believe me.